everybody to our monthly AMA with Tangem. Whether you're tuning in, let's start again. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or you're a regular joiner, welcome. We're glad to see you here. And first, an intro. So my name is Anna. I'm the community lead here at Tangem, and I'm here to guide you through our wonderful AMA. So I know that you're joining us all on a Friday. It's been a busy week, and we've had a busy time here over the last quarter over at Tangem as well. We've got so many things to show you, both a revisal of what we've done over the last 3 months and what we're doing for the next 3 months ahead. So with our next quarter coming up, we wanted to have a dedicated time with the community, just a time really to chat and have some feedback from you all, have you all live with us, and be able to guide you all through what we've got planned for the next quarter. So important thing to revise. Yes, we've got a lot of growth ahead of us, and we've been doing tremendous things here at Tangem. Obviously, you've seen all of the work we've done. You've seen all of our app releases, and we've got so many things planned ahead. So one last thing to mention is that we're going to be doing a giveaway. We've got our Tangem Ring coming up later in the month. We are doing the final launch, so we are very excited. So with that in mind, we're going to be giving away a Tangem Ring and, of course, some merch to some people who ask us questions in the chat. So that's basically it. If you have any questions, now is the perfect time to start leaving them in the comments, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, let's jump into our AMA. Hi, can you hear us? How are we doing?
Hi. Hi,
brilliant.
Everyone.
Hi, Andrey. Okay, wonderful. Well, let's all greet our wonderful guest, Andrey, our wonderful CEO. Can you give us an introduction about yourself? I know you've been with us before in a live stream, but I know a lot of people haven't met you personally, so this is the perfect time.
Right. My name is Andrey. I'm initially a technical co-founder and now CEO of the company since 2017, since the very beginning and up to now. So ready to answer your questions and tell you more about our upcoming developments and about what we achieved for today.
Brilliant. Well, I know you have a breadth of information about what Tangem is doing, what we're building, and it's perfect to have you here just to talk about our plans for the Q4. So it's the perfect guest, and we're really, really excited. Okay, how about this? I'm going to start the presentation now. The format for today's session is going to be that we're going to run some of our updates first. We're going to run through the roadmap. Then we're going to go through community questions that have been asked in advance. And then finally, we're going to open up the floor so you all can ask your questions. So again, if you have any questions for either Tangem team as a whole or for Andrey himself, this is the perfect time. And yeah, let's kick things off. Oh. Great. I've started at the end. Always how things go. Let's start here. Okay. So let's jump into the roadmap for today, which is going to be looking at the last couple of months of work. And then we're going to shift perspective into what we're actually building, which is the more important things. So looking at the roadmap, Andrey, how about you run us through what is looking for Tangem Express?
Right. Let's start with the core things. And all the ecosystem basis that is evolving. So if you know, we launched Tangem Express last quarter, and it's very successful now, and we're proud to say that it works as it intended. So there's a real competition in the Express, and there are several providers of swap services that really deliver the best possible rates to our users, and basically they compete over each deal in real time. What we wanted to achieve from the very beginning. This way we can give the best possible rates to each user and make it in the most transparent way. So if you had a chance to look how it works in our application, it prioritizes the best rates. So we help you to get the best possible deal every time. Next quarter, we want to extend this approach to other type of services. So first of all, on-ramp providers, and we add more swap providers. So there will be even more competition and better rates for our users. And that's very important. So that will be the like our approach in the next further quarters, because we want to give more alternatives in different regions, and support more assets. As for now, we already support more than 4 million pairs of assets in existing services, but we're planning to extend it even further.
Brilliant. Okay. Sounds like we've run through that. Let's run through the next slide. So network releases, what have we got planned?
Right. So network releases is also always like a hot question. And we, if you know, we have a dedicated team of 7 people who just add new networks. We already integrated with more than 70 of them and support more than 14,000 coins, which is like really a lot. And we will keep this pace in the future. So next quarter, we'll add 8 more networks to our application. And of course, we listen to your voice here. So we prioritize those networks requested by you, by our users, and that's a priority number 1. And we also look like at the trends and the marketing activity to some extent, but again, like we do what we can, and we like work at a full capacity to add what we asked for. So I would say that we cover like more than 99% of networks by its market capitalization. The only missing thing is probably Monero. We're still looking for the right approach to add it to our wallet. And hopefully we will get back and come up with something in beginning next year. So we have some ideas, and we know that like many of our users asking and want Monero to be added to our wallet.
Yeah.
Okay.
A small note there in terms of how we tend to integrate new tokens. So what is important to us is, of course, user feedback. So if you have any feedback for us, or you have a certain token that you would like to have integrated, or you are from behalf of a project and you would like to see your token integrated, then we ask for user support, that you message our community channels. So anywhere you can find us, we tally every single thing up into a giant doc, noting down your name, when you asked, and so on, to prevent double entries. So if you have any kind of requests, we'll be more than happy to hear it. But I know that a lot of these have been really asked for by the community, and we're really glad to nearly have them with us. Okay.
Right.
Let's go next slide. Staking. Let's do that.
Yep. So staking is a very new feature. We just released this functionality finally. We've been asked for this like for not for years, but many months. That's for sure. And we just rolled out the first staking functionality, and we will extend it to 7 new networks in the upcoming quarter. And it's important to say that we are only talking about native staking. So we provide staking functionality of the networks, and we're not going to introduce any kind of intermediary services or pool staking or farming for the moment, because it implies working with some kind of entities and that basically hold your assets, and it's not something we think we can do and we can propose. So we just offer a fully decentralized native functionality of existing networks, And this is our plan, quite aggressive plan for the upcoming quarter. Everything will be delivered except for maybe Ton that required a little bit more development, but so far so good.
Makes sense. Well, this staking update has been really asked for by the community, and we're so glad it's finally here after a couple of months of going back and forth, just because it's been such a feature-heavy thing for us to integrate. So the development team has been watching all of the comments that you've left after that app update went live, and seeing all of your comments, being so happy about it, it's just heartwarming. So keep it coming. All right, can you give us an intro into Tangem Markets?
Yeah, Markets is a huge update in terms of user interface, but we kept it like on a second level on purpose, because it's a more sophisticated functionality needed for trading, and we started by just replacing a coin microcap in our application. So if you had a chance to take a look how it works, we are taking the data, market data in real time, and we present this data in a very simple, very quick manner. So like the usual way for Tangem, and it's a very, very nice interface, very clean, and you can use it like right in the application. So if you are trading actively or looking into like diversify your investments, that's a perfect place. So it will be extended. We will provide more information like scoring, some newsfeed, and like availability of exchanges for different type of assets. And we will connect more and more information sources into this part of our application. However, we are not like planning to give a financial or investment advice in any form. It's just like a very informative portal, informative part of the product that will help you to trade, to like find a best way of doing your investments, diversify your assets. So, and again, it will not interfere, it will not affect the core functionality. So if you're just a hodler, if you are not going to trade actively, it will stay like invisible for you. It will not bother you unless you like want to experiment.
Yeah, unless you actively seek it out, it's not something that will interfere with the process at all. Basically, our entire ethos is to have the app be as useful and as usable as we possibly can make it. And we know that a lot of people have asked for markets information. And currently what we have in the app, what we've just rolled out in 5.15 is you now have information such as experienced buyers, liquidity, buy pressure, metrics such as, market cap, market rating, circulating and total supply, price performance. There's so many different factors that you can look into assets right now. And in terms of what we're building, as Andrey said, we are building a news feed, so you can have all of that information ready to go at your fingertips at any time, and increasing the number of available exchanges. So actually, it's more that you can see the number of available exchanges that specific asset is on. And of course, having a security score, which will provide you information about a coin's trust rating. So those are the features that we're expecting in Q4. And we're really sure that it's going to be a tool that's going to be useful for people to make decisions about what to do with their assets. But again, it's not financial advice. While we do work, we pull data with Moralis. It's a Web3 development platform. It's updated regularly, but again, it's just information for you. It's not something that we can personally comment on. It's just readily available there for you to have. So you don't have to go anywhere from the Tangem app. All right. Next slide. Actually, I can run you through this one. So Wallet Connect, we've been hearing all of the feedback back and forth for months that you are asking all for more compatibility with Wallet Connect. So if you want to connect to dApps, right now, currently we have EVM compatible networks, and we are going to be rolling out additional networks that will be working with Wallet Connect. So for example, it would be networks like Solana, things like that, different networks that we will be announcing at a bit of a later stage. But the most important thing about it is that it will be a completely redesigned experience, because right now it's not 100% there in terms of the intuitivity that we're used to in the app. You've seen our apps, you know exactly what it's like. It's so intuitive and you know exactly where to click. But with Wallet Connect, it's something that we're working to enhance and make it better and more engaging for you. So enhanced protection against phishing on Web3 sites, that will also be something that will be provided there in the app for you. Support for non-EVM networks, as I mentioned, and transaction simulation to inform users of the outcome before signing, which is very important. So those are the updates that are coming from that side. Okay. Next one is transaction history. Again, transaction history is available in select networks. We're going to be rolling it out more and more networks as we keep on going. So we're going to be redesigning the screen there, making sure that it's very easy for you to understand and have that information ready for you. So easier to understand transaction design, recognition of common transaction types, additional visual information about the operation, and deeper integration with Tangem Express and more. Again, it will be rolling out to more networks as we keep on building the app. We've had an interesting period over the last year since we've had so many different shifts and changes as a growing and evolving company. But now our emphasis is more on building out the app to make it more accessible and easier for everybody to enjoy. All right, here's an interesting one. You guys have been asking for it for months. While we did announce it last quarter, we have slated it for Q4 release. So all of those who haven't been watching every single month and seeing what we're up to, finally, we will have native NFT support, which is a completely new feature. And it has been an interesting one to see being developed, just because it is a very feature-heavy emphasis. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done there. And finally, we will have that coming out this quarter. So yes, while you have some of these beautiful NFTs up on the screen, our design team really worked really hard to create them. We're just really excited that all different kinds of functionality will be available through NFT. One thing to note there is we do ask you to specify which NFT networks you would prefer, because right now we might be thinking in our minds, oh, they just mean something on ETH or in Solana, but there's so many different networks available that might be very important to you. So finally, when we roll a feature out, we want to have that information available that, the users are asking for these kind of networks. So if you have those, please make sure that you definitely send them through to our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, support, anywhere that you can basically find us, and we'll be sure to take that into consideration, because that is, we don't want to disappoint in any way. All right, and finally, let's run through push notifications. So right now, the way that we state it in our community channels and the way that we communicate is a lot of people ask, we want push notifications. We want to be seeing our transactions. I want to get a ping on my phone saying that the transaction is complete. But the reason we don't do that right now is because we are a decentralized cold wallet. We do not have information to your addresses. We cannot give you that information without also having addresses available to read. So this will be an opt-in feature, of course. So you will be able to give us that information for us to be able to give those informations back to you. So things like incoming transactions, completion of exchange, purchase, or sale, those things will be available to you on an opt-in basis, of course, just because we have made that distinction in community, because so many people ask, like, why don't you have it? And the answer is very simple, that we just don't know that information. So for us to be able to do that, we're finally going to be making that feature available to you. Okay. Finally, it's a small little change, but it will be a welcome addition to the app, which is the quick action buttons. So you can perform transactions directly on the main screen with convenient quick action buttons. I mean, the current design that we have is amazing, but it's going to be improved more and more and more. So we're very excited about that. Okay. I think we've run through most of the changes. In terms of an update just for the community to really, because I'm seeing just by the comments in the YouTube that you may not know that we have other resources available. So this is a perfect time to kind of point you to that. We have a special webpage, sort of a community hub for you all to be able to drop in and see all of the information that may not be available to you if you are just using the app and you're not on our socials, and maybe this is the first time that you're kind of tuning in which case, hi. We have this wonderful webpage. We have all the roadmap information in there. We update this every 2 weeks, roughly. If we have new information that comes in or there's just been a release, we will update it again. But roughly speaking, every 2 weeks. You can find it via this webpage that you have on the screen right now. If you ask any of our community helpers or moderators, the team will point you in the right direction. This is a great resource for you to also stay in touch with what is happening behind the scenes, just because these quarterly updates, they're there, but they're also not up to date in terms of what exactly is happening when. And for a lot of you, that's important to know in advance. So we have that available, just in case you didn't know. And finally, just before we close out this part of the presentation, community mentions. So just in case you are not aware of where we are heading and where we've been in the last couple of months, we've had a very conference-heavy couple of months. You may have seen in our socials, or you may have seen us in events like Token 2049, or we had one of our community ambassadors. They've been at EBC in Barcelona recently. So we have had a lot of conferences recently, and now we will have another one in next week, to which I'm going. So we will have our wonderful Daria, so CCO, coming in to do a panel, and we will have the rest of the team there as well. So you can come meet and greet us in London if you are around. In terms of other news, you may have noticed that our wonderful Stealth Edition cards are back in stock. You guys have been asking for it. It's cards that basically front and back, there's no branding. There's nothing that shows that this is a crypto wallet, that this is something that is in any way interesting. It just looks like a plastic normal card. So if that is interesting to you and total anonymity is completely your style, that is something that you should go ahead and bring into your collection. Final quick note is Tangem Club. If you want to be a part of our beta releases, we have a special Tangem Club where you can be rewarded for your participation. So if you give us feedback, we can improve the app for you, and also you can have access to the app way earlier than everybody else. But you have to also give your feedback. It's not just free access. You have to give us your feedback. So if you want to join, be sure to ping our team in Discord, Telegram, or anywhere else, and we can send you the link. Okay. That should be it. Whew. I think we're done now. Andrey, how do we feel about going into the questions?
Go ahead.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, I will switch on our wonderful little B-roll, because if I don't, then the design team is going to be disappointed because they spent so much time creating these. Let's go. Okay, so in terms of some questions that were sent in advance, we have a lot of different types of questions. So while we have questions that are more on the line of when is the Tangem Ring coming, or when is X product featuring, those things are wonderful to have, but we would really like to use this time that we have with you to actually ask you more strategic questions. So could you run us through some plans for Tangem that we have in the next couple of months, years, basically just your perspective and your expertise? Let's start with a question that was asked, which is, could you share some updates about the Tangem Ring?
Yeah, so only good updates about Tangem Ring. So we are going to deliver even a bit ahead of schedule, even though hardware is hard usually for like all the companies dealing with hardware. It's very challenging. So we managed to do what we promised here. So the first users will receive their wallets, Ring wallets, by the end of this month. So I think you will see more updates and reviews at this point. So we are very excited about this. It was a huge challenge for us, and that should be an amazing and very beautiful wallet. So only good things.
Only good things. I think we are nearly here in terms of, well, the pre-order has been done. So now we are at that stage where we're actually heading into live ordering. We'll be able to get it right from our warehouses. So we're nearly there, guys. Long time coming, but here we are. Okay. Next question. Could you give us some information and updates on Tangem Pay? I know that you're the leader behind that team, so it'll be really great to hear your perspective. For those who didn't know, we do have a YouTube channel, which obviously you're here, but we do have a video up about Tangem Pay, in which we had a guest from the Visa team come up, and that was a really well-received video. But beyond that, give us some more details about how Tangem Pay is.
Yeah, so sometimes like everything that is connected to the fiat world is very difficult, and this is basically, I think, the main obstacle that didn't let us start the whole service earlier, because maybe just an interesting fact that the technology behind this embedding of the crypto wallet into Visa card, it was firstly developed more than 3 years ago by us. So technically it was very clear that it's possible. All the rest was basically either paperwork or some kind of certification process, or right now it's mostly like a bureaucratic things that we need to sell before we can offer this as a full Visa card product. But the good news are that we already made real transactions in the real world when this Visa Tangem wallet card is used directly, like at a random merchant to buy coffee, and the transactions went the full way from the chip in the card down to the smart contract in a blockchain, which is currently Polygon L1. And we see that it's fully functional, and that's good news for everyone, because all the rest is just a formality. It will take maybe a few months before we'll be able to issue and deliver first Visa cards with embedded Tangem Wallet.
All right. I know a lot of people are asking about, possibly being a tester and so on. I mean, even internally as the team, can't wait for it to happen, because it's just going to be such a completely different financial worldview. And there's so many things that happen on the background from the moment that you tap your card to it being confirmed and ready to go, that you've paid for it. I mean, this must be an interesting product to work on, to say the least. Yeah, we're really excited to have it happen. Is there any clues in terms of like when this is slated to be released?
So we expect it to be Q1 next year. I mean, that will be a commercial start when like everyone will be able to order this card in Europe. That's important, because this puzzle is only connected in Europe right now. We have all the necessary partners and integrations here in Europe. European Union, and we will welcome our users, and we'll be happy to deliver those cards, the service to them.
Yeah, so it's really just around the corner. One thing that is important to note as well is this is a completely different product. Just for those, I'm conscious, I'm listening to you and I'm going, maybe people will be worried or think that this is an update. This is a completely different hardware chip. Tangem Pay is a completely different type of product, and it will be completely separate from the Tangem Wallet ecosystem in terms of it will be a different process and setup and so on. So maybe there's some other differences you can maybe just paraphrase for our audience that maybe do not know.
Yeah, it will be. Yeah, that's important. That will be totally separated from the main Tangem Wallet. So there will be some kind of a spending account. It will be on-chain account dedicated to this Visa card, and all the rest will stay like fully anonymous, fully decentralized, and it will not be involved into this Visa transaction process. So it will only like require only single account on the Polygon or other EVM chain that will be connected to the system. Yeah.
All right. And for those who may not know, maybe you can explain this, of course, better, but am I correct that if you are not an existing Tangem user and say you come from Ledger or MetaMask or Trezor or anybody else, you can still use Tangem Pay, correct?
That's correct. That's correct. Yes. So definitely we will offer this to our users first of all, but yeah, it will be possible to connect your other wallets through smart contracts, and you will be able to manage these Visa accounts and the whole Visa transaction process from your wallet through a system of smart contracts. Yeah.
All I'm hearing is that it's complete revolution in the world of finance. Okay, I'll stop pressing you on the Tangem Pay questions. Let's jump into the next one. So could you give us information in terms of the bigger strategic goals that Tangem has? What will the ecosystem look like over the next couple of years? What's the outlook that we have and priorities as a company?
Yeah, that's a good question and a long answer. So let's focus on the main thing. So first of all, of course, we will remain a self-custody wallet and fully decentralized. That's like a core value. And we clearly understand that most of our users are basically long-term investors, hodlers, and we respect that. So we will like be very conservative with this part of our product. Everything that is related to key management and security will stay like on this top level. That will be very, very secure product, very simple to use. And if you're just going to use it to store your assets in the long term, that will stay the perfect product. And there will be no major changes, maybe some really how to say technical things in the future, maybe more advanced chip in the wallet that will be able to handle post-quantum cryptography, which been recently standardized. But it's not like something for next 2-3 years. It's just a very long future. Otherwise, the security architecture and the basis of the wallet will remain the same. Maybe we will experiment with other form factors, more premium materials, but the product will stay like a combination of hardware part and the mobile application. Otherwise, yeah. So we will extend our ecosystem definitely. So we will provide more and more integration to decentralized wallet, to fiat wallet, but it will all stay optional, of course. We would just want to keep Tangem application like in the center of the whole ecosystem, and make it very convenient and easy for everyone to navigate in a crypto world without leaving Tangem ecosystem. So that's our main goal, main vision for the upcoming years.
Yeah. So anything we can do to improve the usability and to have more people longer with us for a longer period of time, I think that's
right.
A big priority for us. So, okay, good. Interesting. It's always nice to hear it. I know that we've done, for those who don't know, we have actually had Andrey on before. I can see some of the comments as well. There are some things that we've touched upon beforehand, which we would love to share you the link to, because Andrey has given us his attention and all of his answers before for some of these questions. So if you have something that we may not have answered right now, then we can either point you to it, or we can get an answer direct from Andrey later on, if that is something that is interesting to you. All right. Next question. This popped up from a language community, so I assume that this is just something that multinational community members are asking about and wanting to know more about. I think part of it also stems from a question around why is there no Tangem token? But this is the general question of how is the company doing in terms of current states of funding?
Yeah. So I think the simple answer is that we are totally self-sufficient. So we are like quite cautious with the funds. We do not depend on like external financing right now. So we are not going to like introduce a new token, an ICO or something. I think we mentioned this many times before. So because first of all, we are a security company, and we stay very conservative with these kind of things. We are not sponsoring like Formula One team or something, and not going to. We just focus on security, on our like magic team of engineers, and we just do our best to stay independent from external investors and any kind of I don't know, financial flows or partners promise us something, I don't know, really fancy, beautiful in terms of money. So yeah, we are very conservative here. I wouldn't say like more details about like profit or something. I can just say that we are very stable, and that will stay so in upcoming years.
Good to hear. I mean, we all know this internally, but it's great to share it out. But we have talked about many of these things before in terms of like the token, why we don't do it, and so on. But really, it just comes down to I just don't believe we have a need for it. Plus, it also needs a different kind of utility and so on. So glad to hear that we are doing quite well. Okay. This is also slightly linked. This is a question on, are you planning to release a subscription service for Tangem? What could that potentially look like?
Yeah, we've been thinking about this like option for a long time, and decided that we will not like shrink our functionality to existing users. So basically, everything that we have, everything that is integrated, will be offered to everyone. There will be no subscription fee, as there's almost no place for kind of premium service. We deliver like the best things that we could, and we will keep doing the same thing. So everything that we have, everything that is integrated, will be offered for free. Maybe the only exclusion would be really payable services like AML checks, for example. So if someone will need to like verify incoming funds, incoming assets, at some point we will offer this service in our application, and that will be paid service. But again, we are not going to put it into some kind of a subscription or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I was on another AMA recently, and I think some other feedback that we had on that is you can't make something that is paid, that is free on other platforms, paid for in Tangem. So that's something that you have to keep in mind when you're developing a product, that it has to carry all kinds of understandings behind it, that you can't just release a product just for the sake of it. But it's good to hear your perspective. Thank you for that. All right. We've touched on it actually briefly, but are there any plans for a premium version of the Tangem wallet, for example, a metal or carbon fiber?
Yeah. As I said, we think we will introduce something really fantastic next year. Again, it takes some time to research the materials and production options. But yeah, so next year there will be some new, like more premium product with the same functionality, same level of security. Of course, it's just another appearance, which will look like more high-end, like the Ring, but that will be a card form factor, just with new type of materials. We will share details soon, maybe by the end of this year, and that will be something amazing.
Maybe a related question to that is, I know that I see it all the time in community, is when are there new colors of the Ring and so on? All of these kind of developments we will share in the community later, towards the end of the year, I think, because first we have to launch these kind of products, and then we can go from there.
Yeah,
correct?
that's true.
Yeah, that's what we are here for. Okay. Next question. Are there any plans for further integration with TradFi companies, and what would that potentially look like?
Yeah, as I mentioned, so we are going to expand our ecosystem, and I think the most obvious further integrations with traditional finances would be extending our Visa wallet to other markets. It's not it's not a straightforward process for us, because every time we need to find local partners.
Ladies, gentlemen, can you confirm?
We're looking for a way to introduce the same product, similar product, or in the United States and other markets. And
Ladies, gentlemen, okay, I feel like I'm getting confirmation in the chat that the feed is a little bit laggy. Andrey, until we have you back, how about I just take you away from the stage, and then I can go ahead and answer some of your questions live with you all, because I know a couple of these I definitely know the answer to. And while I'm not as great in terms of like a speaker than Andrey, but we'd be more than happy to answer some of your questions. Okay. If you have any questions, this is a perfect time to ask them because we have only you and I communicating right now, so we can do this all day. So while we wait for Andrey to join, send me your questions. I can see them live. So thank you, all of you guys, for helping with that. Some of the things I do want to bring up. How about this one? Do you plan to integrate a tool to monitor the overall P&L of our Tangem portfolio? So I've touched upon this in community channels before. The way that we tackle this right now is, yes, we are planning to integrate this and to have that as a feature. Maybe towards the end of the year, maybe next quarter, maybe the dev team is going to kill me for that answer right now, but this is a feature that we're working on. The reason why we don't have it right now is because it is very difficult to integrate something when it doesn't have that information ready for us. So similar how we cannot give you notifications, we also cannot give you the P&L without knowing your assets, what the addresses are. So this would be an opt-in feature as well. So that is something that we would love to talk with you about in community channels a bit later, and we'll be sure to definitely update you all. So P&L is coming. When exactly, we'll be sure to share it with you. All right, I think we have Andrey back with us. How about I put you back on stage? Andrey, how are you? Do we have you back? Maybe not. We are testing, we are seeing things. This is what happens. I am also in the Netherlands, so I understand what the network connection is here like. So while we are waiting, how about I answer another question from you right now? So I know this is a bit joking, but are there any other form factors? So when are we getting the Tangem hat or Tangem gloves for cold countries? I'm from a cold country. I hear you. It is already cold in the Netherlands, so no problem. In terms of form factors, we have a whole patent on the entire Tangem wearables line. So even though this is a joking question, I think I'd be more than glad to answer it. So we have a wearables line that is patented. So first we will be rolling out the ring, but in the future we could go into anything from cufflinks to necklaces to maybe belts or bracelets or anything that could be used in your day-to-day life. So that is something that is interesting to us. The note that is with the ring itself is that it has to have that capability to also not work just by itself. So how it would work with the ring is you can only take it off and then it would give that signal. So similarly, that's something we have to keep in mind when we're developing new products or find some sort of app work around it, because we do not want it to be randomly showing different signals at any point. All right. I am still waiting for Andrey to come back into the chat. So unless you guys are all upset that I am the only person here, be sure to leave some of your questions and I'd gladly look into them. Okay. See, this is an issue because I start only the questions that we had for Andrey, which I thought would be really, really good. How about pay by card or ring? So let's take this very quickly. So paying by card is our new Tangem Pay product that we are launching. So Tangem Pay will be an entirely separate product. It will not have the same chip that we currently have in the Tangem cards or in the Tangem Ring. So because it is a different chipset, it requires a completely different firmware. It's different from the bones down. So it is not going to be available as a software update. You will have to have a separate device for that. So just in case some of you do not know how that works, we'd love to give you some more details later, but just as a quick ping, those are completely separate products. All right. How about this? So we do have questions on when this, when that. These are things that we can definitely chat to you guys in community always. And let me just share the screen just for a second. Just as a reminder for those who maybe have just joined us, we have this wonderful resource here. In it, we have all the up-to-date information when it comes to the community. So in terms of what we have planned, when is a certain staking feature coming or a certain asset, those things are updated very regularly. So just in case you didn't join us for that second, we'd be more than glad to share those details with you. All right. Well, see, that's the thing. Potential time frame. I cannot share that, but the roadmap can. So we'll be more than glad to share with you later. Okay. Okay. Let me have a look at some of your questions. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It is very hard to scroll and be entertaining at the same time, so I will do my very, very best. How about to those people who are watching that are from our community and have been with us for a long time, maybe you can drop us some questions that would be beneficial for the wider audience that we do have while we're getting that, while we're getting Andrey back with us. So questions that you think would be interesting for the general community and easy for us to tackle. Those are questions that we would love to have right now. Okay. Oh, I'm seeing somebody from the community that we have very often. So Jay Benzala, thank you so much for your feedback. It is very great to have you here. So I can see you in the chat as well. So if you do have a good question, now's the perfect time to help us out with this live stream. Okay. How about this question? Can you explain how the tech works? I assume that you mean with the Tangem Ring. How does the signal stop when the ring is on the finger? So the Tangem Ring is NFC. Similarly to the Tangem Wallet cards, it is a similar chipset, but because it is going to be inside the form factor of a ring, I assume that the hand would somehow block that signal and not work with that. So there are a variety of different sensors on the chip itself. I think something like 9 different sensors that ensure that it is a safe and up-to-date system for us. So there is definitely that capability from the app side to check that it is not currently being able to be used. Ladies and gentlemen, I think we have Andrey back. That's why I got a little bit distracted. How about this? We will bring him back onto the stage. Standing ovation, ladies and gentlemen. Andrey, back. How are you?
Back on track. Sorry, guys. Something happened to my internet here.
It's okay. I understand completely how the Netherlands is in terms of internet, so not a problem. How about this? I've started answering some of the questions that we've had sent to us in the community. How about I gradually start asking you some of those questions? Would that be okay? So how about this one? As a project owner, how can we get our staking platform connected to the Tangem app?
As I said, we start with native staking, meaning that should be an inherent functionality of the network itself. So once we saturate our staking functionality with native staking functions, we will think how we can switch to third-party or staking projects and staking products, because as I said, for us it's really important to make sure that any kind of asset holding is safe for our users. and we will be very cautious and with enabling new staking functionality. But we will definitely come to this point, maybe in the beginning of next year. So yeah, please stay in touch with us, and we will consider all these possibilities of integration, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a dedicated partnerships team. So if you are maybe not just a staking provider, maybe you are a swap provider or any other kind of on-ramping, off-ramping service, and you think that you would do really well with integrating with us, we'd be more than happy to hear from you. Please reach out to our support team or our partnerships team. We'd be more than happy to point you in the right direction, or you can message myself on the different platforms that we are present in, and we can take it from there. Okay. I had the perfect question for you lined up just before you left us for a little bit. How about this? Will we be able to use Tangem Pay for online purchases and Apple Pay?
Yeah, that will be an opt-in functionality, because that will require you to authorize a smart contract to do some payments on your behalf. That's because the payment process, payment flow that I explained in the beginning, it cannot be done with Apple Pay or Google Pay, obviously, because you need a physical chip and a physical key in this chip. In case of Apple Pay, the payment is authorized by a token stored by Apple in iPhone. So that's a different flow and a different security model. That means that these kind of functions will be offered to Tangem Pay users, but that will be an additional functionality because it will require some trade-offs in terms of trust. You will need to authorize, as I said, you need to authorize smart contract to spend your money up to some limit.
Interesting. That's a good nuance to bring up, because that's a question that we have in community quite a lot, which is
Yeah.
Tangem Pay is coming. Amazing. When is Apple Pay coming? So that's really interesting to hear. Okay. Any other tidbits of information that we maybe do not know about how this will operate, or should we just wait until all the announcements?
I don't think it's really like that important to discuss it technically in depth, because there are a lot of details and a lot of things that required redesigning the whole payment process for Visa. I think the most important things for our users that's a very usual payment experience. So for our users, that these cards will use like usual Visa cards and the wallet at the same moment. So we do not like want to make to have a new learning curve or to explore a new payment product, new payment process. So it will be very everything will be very relatable.
Got it. All right. Good answer. Thank you so much for that help. How about this? This is a good strategic question to ask as well. This is somebody who definitely listened to our instructions and was like, send us some strategic questions, please. How about this? Good evening. Hello. What are the main goals Tangem wants to accomplish in the upcoming years, and how will Tangem work to stay innovative? Oh no, we lost Andrey again. Just when we asked a good question. My goodness, what a day. Okay, how about this? I actually was going to tackle this beforehand. So something that is constantly asked for our community is, so where can we find support? Support can currently be found only via email. This is very important. While we do have a dedicated moderation and helper team, a lot of us are here already, we do have that team available to you. They can only consult either in the main chat, or we will send you over to support. This is for your safety. Unfortunately, the space is rife with unfortunate circumstances in terms of there are different malicious intent people. So everything that we do is definitely there for your user safety, everything that we do. So while yes, going via email is maybe not as intuitive as just a messenger or any other form of communication, it's all done with the idea that everything has to be safe and secure for our users. This way we can eliminate any kind of risk when it comes to any compromising of any kind of communication channels. This way it's you email our support team, we will definitely process it within the next couple of hours, maybe even shorter. And then if you want us to be able to chat to you live, you can find us in Discord and in Telegram. We have local community chats and we have our wonderful Discord ready for you to go. So if you join us there, a lot of us are actually here live in the live stream because we do have a very close-knit community and we have a lot of fun together. So if you want to chat to us about any product information or anything that is interesting to you, we can either give you that information or we will refer you to the support team. So this is there for your safety, and I hope that kind of explains it why we don't take this approach. All right, looks like we have Andrey back. Let's go again.
Again, yeah.
Okay, how about this? We haven't got a lot of questions left, unless I missed something while I was speaking. How about we tackle this question? We have touched on it a little bit. So is Tangem Pay available in the UK market? Which other markets will it be expanding to? Will there be any additional information for there?
Yeah, so our current configuration of partnerships actually covers UK. So we will be able to offer these cards to UK users as well. And that's a good news for us. And regarding the product itself, there'll be no changes. I think it will look the same as for other European Union users. So yeah, it will work.
Brilliant. Okay. I have another question that probably I will tackle it a little bit quickly just because this is my area of expertise. This is everything to do with community. This is just a general comment in terms of we have so many users in Turkey. We do not have any thoughts or opinions about where you come from. Absolutely. We would gladly open up a local community channel if we have the people who are there to support it live with us, because everything that we do need to have some sort of moderation team that comes along with it. So if you are desperate to be a part of the wonderful community that you are hoping to build, you can just reach out to us personally, just tag me, ask the moderation team how to get into my DMs, and then we can kind of take it from there. So we are always here for you. This is not just an AMA in terms of like just answering your questions in terms of technical questions. It's very important to also just give that feedback that everything that we do is for the end user in mind. Absolutely. All right. I can see that there's a lot of questions just in terms of when is this asset coming? When is another language going to be updated and so on. Again, we do have our wonderful roadmap, which we will use to update our community at any point. So during the next couple of months, be sure to update to see the updates there for you live. Okay. Andrey, how are we feeling? Do you want to maybe finish up with some additional points from your side? Maybe something that we didn't cover?
No, there's only maybe one thing I wanted to stress out a little bit, that about the communication. I just wanted to say that we are very cautious with any kind of reverse communication channels. So when we're talking about push notifications or any kind of email communication, it's totally opt-in, it's totally optional. So we absolutely respect your right to stay private. We need this channel either to inform you about progress of more complex transactions, as Anna mentioned, or about new options, new opportunities to use our applications. We are not trying to upsell anything or drive you in something that is profitable for us. It's just either for your safety or convenience. So if you feel uncomfortable with us messaging you, there'll be a way to let us know, and of course it's totally optional.
Wonderful. Well, this is everything that we do for our community. If you feel that you mentioned a good word that I kind of thought maybe we should comment on that. If you feel a certain way, we are always there to answer any kind of your questions. We are a very transparent company. I mean, this is case in point. We're having these kind of AMAs every single month. We have open community channels, roadmap updates, you name it. If you have any kind of thoughts, questions, comments, feedback, maybe not so positive, even though all I'm seeing is just positivity. If you have any kind of feedback, we'd love to have it. We have a Tangem Club, which is a beta channel in a way that we can communicate with our audience directly, to have them actually give us feedback on what would make an even better product for you. So Andrey, you definitely espouse this from the ground up. It all starts with you and your approach to the company. So it's been a terrific pleasure just to be here with the community on behalf of the community. So thank you so much for having that ethos out and having that open communication channel to our community. All right.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining, everyone.
Great. Thank you so much. All right. Just a couple of notes just before we close out is I will be sure to announce the winners for today's AMA in our Discord channel. So if you haven't yet gotten the hint that you should join our Discord, now is the perfect time. Jump in and we'll be able to answer any of your questions if you do have them. All right. Andrey, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you continuing and coming on. Thank you, everybody, for being with us here today. All right.
Thank you.
We're going to close out.
Thank you all.
Hi, everybody. Have a wonderful day ahead. I will leave you with this wonderful video just because we do have our Tangem Ring being released at the end of the month. So enjoy the video and see you in community. And until next time.